Brad here with the Tombstone Riders. Well, it's February 17th and a sunny 71 degrees. So what do? Well, you grab some of the Tombstone Riders and you saddle up and head out for a ride around southern Arizona. Well, we headed out of Sierra Vista and headed towards Bisbee, Arizona. Decided we were going to go have lunch at Morning's Cafe, which is in the Warren area of Bisbee. On our way to lunch, we had to cruise through Lowell, Arizona, which was once a sizable mining town located just southeast of Bisbee. Today it's a small neighborhood of the larger community, though the majority of the original town site was consumed by the excavation of the Lavender Pit mine during the 1950s. What remains today is a photographer's dream. The one street that is left features mid-century buildings, signs, and artifacts in a colorful display that makes the visitors feel as if they have taken a step back in time. Well, we're going to head on over to the Warren area, cruising around the traffic circle here in Bisbee, Arizona, where State Route 80 meets State Route 92, and it's called the Bisbee Roundabout. It's located between the Lavender Pit and Bisbee's Warren District. Bisbee is always one of our favorite places to ride. Bisbee's nestled in the Mule Mountains of southern Arizona. Bisbee was once one of the richest mining towns in the America West. Its story begins back in the 1870s when prospectors struck copper, silver, and gold, transforming this remote outpost into a booming mining hub. Founded in 1880, Bisbee quickly became a major player in the copper industry. Copper Queen Mine, operated by Phelps Dodge, became one of the most productive mines in the world, fueling America's industrial growth. For nearly a century, Bisbee's mines extracted millions of tons of copper, attracting immigrants from around the world. By the early 20th century, the town was thriving with saloons, theaters, and a diverse workforce. Well, we're back on the road after a stop at Morning's Cafe for a delicious lunch. Now, back on the road. Well, back to my Bisbee story. As copper prices fluctuated, mining operations slowed. In 1975, the last major mine shut down, making it the end of an era. Yet Bisbee reinvented itself, embracing its rich history and becoming a vibrant arts and tourism destination. Today, Bisbee stands as a testament to the spirit of the Old West, where mining once reigned and history still shines. Visiting and exploring the legacy of this town, built on copper, courage, and resilience, is always a blast. Well, the weather continues to be beautiful as we've headed over from Bisbee and crossed over through Elfrida. We're now heading up Gleeson Road towards the ghost town of Gleason, Arizona. Gleason, Arizona in its heyday had a population of over 1,000 people. The population today, well, the population is exactly 0. If you go out the radius of a quarter mile, the population booms to 1. A half a mile will bring you to maybe 5. 1 mile and you're talking about a dozen or two. It's hard to count because most of the people who choose to live out here don't much care if they're counted or not. In the 1800s, the Gleason area was home to the Chiricahua Apache tribe. Although the Apache wandered throughout their territory and tended not to settle too long in any one camp, the occasional prospector or scout would wander through, but for most of its history, it was Apache territory and not too friendly to the casual interloper. Navajo would come down from the north and negotiated with Apache for the right to mine turquoise from the area for their famous jewelry. In the 1880s, after Geronimo and the last of the Apache had been killed off or forced elsewhere, prospectors and miners moved in and took up the turquoise mines. Tiffany and Company of New York even operated a turquoise mine here for a few years. The original name of the town was Turquoise, and around 1900 an Irishman named John Gleason dug around and found a large copper deposit south of Turquoise, and he began operating to mine the metal, calling his claim the Copper Belt. In October of 1900, the town of Gleason was officially born when the Postal Service opened a post office here. Although other minerals were occasionally found, it was copper which formed the backbone of this town. From 1900 to the 1920s, Gleason thrived and swelled to over 1,000 people. A huge school was built, and there was a hospital, a theater, and a dozen restaurants and bars. Between the two world wars, the price of copper fell, and with it the fortunes of Gleason. By 1930, the hospital was in disrepair, and other businesses had dwindled to only a handful. Ranching had become the primary occupation in the vicinity, and in 1945 the school closed. Its students merged into Tombstone. A visit to Gleason today will reveal the town cemetery, the school foundation, the remnants of a hospital. You will also find a row of mailboxes, the barely standing remains of the Bono's Saloon, and a whole lot of adobe ruins. The town jail, built of reinforced concrete in 1910, has been restored by a group of local people and serves as kind of a museum and gathering place for visitors, wanderers, and long-lost former residents. It's open the first Saturday of every month, and when we're riding motorcycles, we always stop there as we did today. Well, we continue to ride over Gleeson Road. This road here in southeast Arizona, tucked between the ghost towns and forgotten mines, a stretch of asphalt and dust where time slows down and the ride is everything. This is Old Gleeson Road. This road was once a lifeline for miners and settlers. This road now belongs to the wind, the sun, and those who seek freedom of the open road. Its twists and turns through the high desert, past weathered ruins and rusting memories of the past. Every mile tells a story of boom and bust, of grit and survival. Some roads take you somewhere. Others, like this one, remind you why you ride. Old Gleeson Road, where history lingers, the horizon calls, and the spirit of the Southwest rides on. Well, thanks for riding along with us today. From here, we're going to head on over to Tombstone and then cross back over to Sierra Vista, Arizona, the town we call home. Until next time, ride safe and see you on the open road.